Hey everybody, I'm Michael DiTullo. Welcome to my studio, and today I'm going to be ideating a sneaker boot concept sketch. So after almost 11 years total of living in Portland, I think I finally might be becoming officially an Oregonian in that I think about sneaker boots all the time, I wear sneaker boots all the time, I have multiple pairs of hiking boots. This video of an unboxing that I did for a Sorel sneaker boot is actually one of my most watched videos. And I've designed a few sneaker boots. I worked on the Nike Baltoro 2 back in the early 2000s, which had this really cool Air Max bag. And then I also worked on the Jordan B More, which was kind of a spin off of the Jordan 5.5 that was designed for Carmelo Anthony, also with an Air Max bag in it. And so I thought it would be fun. It's winter here in Oregon. I thought it would be fun to ideate a little bit on a sneaker boot ourselves today. All right, let's jump into it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here is just start working on the proportion. I like to get that kind of outer shape right first, working on something like this, because in footwear, in car design, in a lot of things like this, if you don't have the proportion right, nothing else you do is going to really matter. And I'm sketching in just kind of like a green 6B digital pencil. I like to sketch a lot of times when I'm doing kind of the first, what I consider the underlay. I'm not thinking of this as the final sketch. I'm just thinking of this as like a practice run. I'm trying to work out the design. I'm trying to find the lines. And so sometimes sketching in a color, it helps me to kind of keep loose and not get too serious about it. This really comes from the old days of working analog. We used to sketch in a colored pencil that was literally called non-photo blue. And this non-photo blue color was called that because photocopiers couldn't see it. So you could sketch in non-photo blue and then sketch in black over top and then photocopy it to render it in, and the photocopier wouldn't pick up any of the blue. Now that I've got that first pass of the design done, I'll put a clean sheet, or a clean layer rather, over top in Procreate on my iPad and start sketching up with a black pencil. I start with the ground line, everything kind of builds up from there, and then I kind of work up the tooling. I really like this kind of chunky sawtooth tool in this concept with this kind of sculpted midfoot arch, which I think is really nice. And then the upper in this design is simple, but it has some interesting things going on. So kind of doing a pattern split down the quarter there, and then kind of like a traditional collar, kind of like a padded collar, and then a simple kind of U-bell throat. And then I'm thinking of these kind of D-ring lace loops that are kind of partially hidden. There'd be like a piece of webbing underneath that eye row that captures those D-rings. And then let's add in some kind of traditional speed lace hardware. You see this a lot of times in hiking boots, so that the lace ups go really quick. Now that I've got the line work in there, I could start color blocking, and I'm thinking of kind of a nice slate bluish, slate gray color for the upper, with kind of like a darker dove gray for the tooling, and then a nice kind of chocolatey brown for some of the details, the laces, and a perforated collar. I'm also thinking the toe and the heel are going to be kind of welded bits, and then maybe there'd be this welded seam seal on the quarter panel here too, instead of stitching. So I'm going to add that detail in there as I go. Again, always kind of like taking an opportunity to evaluate the design. Maybe let's add some more welding reinforcement for those speed lacing and for the U-bell eye row as well. Now that we're color blocked, I'm going to start adding some light and dark shadow on the tooling first, just kind of getting that tooling to pop. So showing that kind of upper edge of the tooling wrapping, and the toe and the heel kind of wrapping away from us, the midfoot sculpting, and then just kind of like let's make these sawtooths a little more interesting. Maybe they sculpt up a little bit. They're a little soft. In bottom view, I can imagine them kind of radiusing around a little bit. I think that would be kind of fun. Okay, now onto the upper. I'm going to start with this kind of, we call it core shadow. So it kind of sweeps through the midfoot up the heel, and then the toe shadow as well, kind of showing that kind of rounding over. And once I got that really good core shape in there, I can start detailing in the collar, little details like the speed laces, and then come back into detailing laces. And then the last bit here is really just getting all the highlights so I could see kind of what's in front, what's in the back. So a little highlight on that U-bell. And then, hey, let's add this fun little graph paper background and maybe some reflected light off the tongue, just kind of showing that radiusing around, reflected light off the heel doing the same. I don't normally do this in my sketches anymore. I usually do it digitally in a presentation, but the graph paper background, I just thought it'd be fun to write in some notes. So again, showing this kind of hot melt toe cap, the partially hidden D-rings, the speed lace hooks, the stitched logo patch on the tongue, which could be really nice, a padded micro perf collar, and then really calling out those little seam seal details. And that's pretty much it, guys. I'm actually really loving this sketch. I think it's pretty fun. I'd wear this. I would rock this around Portland for sure. So that's it, everybody. I thought that was a pretty fun little sneaker boot ideation. I'd love to work on one of these again. I've been working on a lot more footwear for clients this past year, but nothing kind of in this category. So anybody you want to work on a sneaker boot, let me know. If not, hit like, hit subscribe. I'm coming up on 10,000 followers on the channel here, 10,000 subscribers. So share this with a friend, share it with a classmate, and I'll see you next time, all right? Take it easy.